So, shalom, shalom, and welcome, my dear viewer and listener. Welcome to Joyce, aka Daughter of Zion YouTube channel. God bless you so much for tuning in and choosing to listen to this channel. Thank you, my subscriber. Thank you for those who have subscribed. May God bless you so much. And I also request those who have not subscribed, kindly, it is a kind request, subscribe, like the video, share the video, and God bless you so much. And even comment. So, from the previous videos, we've been looking at the beasts, and from the previous video, we saw what the beasts were, and we saw that the beasts are the four kingdoms which arose here on earth, or the four kingdoms which ruled here on earth, starting with the Babylonian kingdom, the Media and Persia kingdom, the Greek kingdom, and now the Roman kingdom, or the Roman Empire, which is ruling even today. And we saw that the first, second, so today we want to see how these kingdoms, or how these beasts operated, how they operated. So, the first three kingdoms, first, second, and third, we saw how we want to see how they were operating. But one thing we want to remember from the previous video, what we learned is that the fourth beast was different from the first three in that it was frightening, it was terrifying, and it was very powerful. It was different. So even in operation, it is different from the other three. So the first three kingdoms, or the first three beasts, they used force on people or upon people. How did they use force? That if you are found obeying God, you are punished. That is how they operated. They punished people, they took people, they even killed people for obeying God. And you also remember the case of Daniel when he was put in the den of lions. Even people like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, when they were thrown into the fire because they refused to bow to the king or to the idol, they were that by refusing, they did not want to break the first commandment. So they were thrown into the fire. So this is how the first three beasts used to operate. They used force on people, beating people physically, even killing people for only obeying God. If you are found obeying God, obeying the law of our Maker, they punished you. But the fourth beast, or the fourth kingdom, was different, because it was different from the first three in that by the time now it came in, it found rise in operation. The one who was there before, remember we read Daniel chapter 8 from verses 9. We read and we saw a horn that, or a shoot that started small and grew, it grew in power. And we saw that was Antiochus. So we saw that during his time, it is when the daily sacrifices and the daily sacrifices were stopped and truth was trodden under the feet. So he is the one who started rise. Though the physical affliction was there, there were rise. People were being right too. So by the time the Roman Empire was coming in, though there were physical affliction, the rise had already started. And now the Roman Empire decided to use the rice. It derived in rice. So the first beast decided, instead of beating people, remember people were being beaten for obeying God, for keeping the commandments. People were beaten. If you are found not eating the right things, not eating the things that the Lord God had forbidden, you are beaten. If you are found doing what God had said people to do, you are beaten. So the first beast decided what he will do is he will write with the people. And that is why the Bible was hidden for very many years. Remember there before, if you are found reading a scroll, you are also punished. And so the Bible was hidden for a very long time. And now when it came now with other writings. They had inserted their own writings inside the Bible. And now, after being hidden for a very long time, people are now allowed to read the Bible without question. And then, sir, you wonder what has changed. Before, these people used to punish people because of reading the scrolls. Now they were even being given free of charge. Now you wonder what has changed. But they had already inserted or put their own writings now which they wanted people to run inside the Bible. And that is why they were even being given freely. They were like the small Bibles, they are called the Gideon Bibles. They were being given freely in schools, in prisons, in hospitals. People were being given those Bibles free of charge. And they were around to read now without question. But remember before, if you are found reading a scroll, you are punished. So, they've hid the Bible for a long time. Why they were putting their own writings inside. So people, when the Bible came, people are told now, okay, there before they used to punish people. Like now, God has given the commandment of circumcision, not eating the defiled animals, even all manner of obedience. So there before, if you are found obeying, you are punished. But now, this time now, when the Bible came, these things which they were being punished for doing, now they were written in the Bible. For example, if you are refusing to eat the animals which God had forbidden, like for example the pig, they were told that God, now because it is written in the Bible, God has said that if you can pray for them, you can eat. If you go to the market, you can eat all the animals without questions. without asking question. So people ended, because now these things are written in the Bible. So people ended up disobeying God because it is written in the Bible. Another example, God had commanded all the boys to be circumcised at the age of 8 days. So now, there before, if you were found circumcising your child, you were punished. Now, this time loud, it was written in the Bible that circumcision or no uncircumcision is nothing, and that if you get circumcised, Jesus will be of no profit to you. He will not help you in anything, in any way, if you get circumcised. So people ended up not getting circumcised because it is written in the Bible. So people were lied to. And as a result of these lies, they ended up disobeying God. Why? Because it is written in the Bible. So the main agenda of the enemy was that for people not to obey God. The first three beasts physically beat people. They physically punished people because of obeying God. If you read the book of Maccabees, if you read First Maccabees, chapter 1, verses 64 to, verses 56 to 64, let me read, yeah? We see how people were being, an example of how people were being punished for obeying God. This is what the first three beasts did. Physically afflicting people for obeying God. So, First Maccabees, chapter 1, verses 56, I'll read up to 64. It says, "And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law, which they found, they burnt them with fire." Remember, I've told you that before the rise came, if you are found reading the scroll, you are punished. So here they even burnt them with the fire. "And whosoever was found with any book of the Testament, or if any committed to the law, the king's commandment was that they should be put to death." So if you are found reading, or you are committed to the law, committed to obeying the law, the king's commandment was that those people should be put to death. 58. "Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month." Remember, the Israelites are the ones who had the law of our Maker. "To as many as were found in the cities. Now, the 25th day of the month, they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of God." 60. "At which time," listen my viewer and my listener, verses 60 of First Maccabees chapter 1. "At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. And they hanged the infant about their necks, and leveled their houses, and slew them that circumcised them." 62. "Howbeit many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. Wherefore, rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died. And there was very great wrath upon Israel." So, you have seen, they put to death certain women who had caused their children to be circumcised. Remember, circumcision is a command from God. So that time, what they used to do is that when they found that you had caused your child to be circumcised, you are killed. The child was also killed. They burnt their houses, and to make matters worse, on top of that, they also killed the people who had performed circumcision. So that is what now they operated. That is what the first three beasts did. Physically afflicting people because of obeying the law of our Maker. But now when the fourth beast came, lies had already been inserted in the Bible, and the fourth beast thrived in lies. So what it did is, it was written in the Bible that circumcision or uncircumcision is nothing. If you get circumcised, Jesus will not profit you with anything. So what people did is they stopped getting circumcised. Hence they disobeyed God now willingly. Remember, before, those who obeyed God were killed, were punished by those people. Remember, the commandment of the king was, so it was the king's command that people be killed, that people be punished. But now come to the fourth beast, which thrived in lies. People were lied to, and those lies were put in the Bible. That is why now people now started to disobey God willingly, because it is written in the Bible. Now, when they disobey God willingly, who will punish them? It is God. The kings now will not punish them, but they will be punished by their Maker. So, that is how the beasts operated. The first three using force upon people, beating people, killing people because of obeying the law of our Maker. The fourth beast thrived in lies. People were lied to. Remember, here, these people resolved and committed to themselves not to eat any unclean thing. So there are those things that God had said that they are unclean and so not fit, not to be eaten. So these people had said they cannot eat them. So when they were found eating, they were punished. So what happened in the fourth beast? The rise came that you can pray for them. If you go to the market, eat all the animals without asking questions. If you take them with thanksgiving, you pray for them, you eat, it is okay. So those are the rights. So people started eating what God had forbidden because they were told if you pray for them, they will be cleaned. So that is how they operated. But the whole agenda was, at the end of the day, people ended up disobeying God by saying that it is written in the Bible. So people, if it is about the Sabbath, people ended up not keeping the Sabbath because it is written in the Bible that one person considers one day more sacred than the other. The other one considers all days are equal. So one should do what is convinced in his heart. One should not judge you for the feasts, the new moon feast, for religious feast, or even the Sabbaths. So people started not keeping the Sabbath because it is written. One should not judge you. So, my dear viewer, my dear listener, basically that is how these kingdoms operated. Firstly, using force for the beast rice. Those are the rice which are still there today. Today people don't obey God because it's written in the Bible. Today people don't keep the Sabbath because it is written in the Bible. So do not be judged. Today people eat forbidden animals. Why? Because it is written in the Bible. So people have lived and they have taken the rice, they have embraced the rice, and they continue to disobey our Maker because it is written in the Bible. Otherwise, my dear viewer, my dear listener, we will continue the next video. We will still continue with this same topic about the beast, what, and so we'll see what our Maker will enable us to do next. Otherwise, shalom, shalom. Have a blessed time. Kindly subscribe to this channel and may our Maker richly bless you. Shalom, shalom. See you in the next video. Shalom.